Welcome to the 2% Club, where we talk all things work, wealth, and wellness, with the founders, funders, and forward thinkers rewriting old playbooks with intention. I'm your host, Rachel Hirsch, venture investor, wellness operator, and founder of Wellness Growth Ventures. Each week, we dive into bold conversations about scaling companies, building wealth, investing wisely, and staying mostly sane while doing it. Welcome back to the 2% Club podcast, where we talk all things work, wealth, and wellness. I am your host, Rachel Hirsch, and today we're back with Thursday Hot Takes with Melissa Gelman-Weiss. And today is less of like a newsworthy hot take, but it is a very personal hot take, and we're talking about the reason that we are putting together this top 10 women in wellness list. And I'll start with the fact that I actually want to do a top 100 women in wellness, and that's like a long-term goal that we're putting out into the universe. But I had been expressing this to Melissa, and I think my friend Allie, like a few different people have expressed this to over the course of a few months. And Melissa very casually recently was like, well, why don't we do it? Like as if it was just totally doable. And that thought actually had not crossed my mind. And I was blown away. And thank goodness for Melissa, because hell yeah, why not do it? We don't have to have 1 million followers, 1 million downloads. We're not saying we are the voice. We're just saying, hey, we want to put out this list, and because we really want to recognize the people that have changed wellness as we know it, have changed wellness for the 2% Club. And I don't think it's anything more than that. And how cool is that?
Well, actually, so let's talk. Let's put you in the hot seat on hot takes. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why did you, what was your sole reason for wanting to do this? And by the way, it could have changed, but what was it?
I don't know. I can let me circle back with you on like the original reason, but I can tell you why it is my reason now. Because I love celebrating other people. And part of the reason I love the podcast is because I learned so much from so many. Like when I interviewed you for the first time, I just could have sat with you for hours asking you questions. And it didn't feel like enough to post about you, put out the episode. It was like, this woman is fucking incredible, and you all need to know how fucking incredible she is. And yeah, I want to fucking I am a sailor today. I'm swearing so much. I'm so sorry.
By the way, it's so interesting because we arrive at the same conclusion from totally different places.
Okay, tell me yours.
Which is like, I'm just really, I'm kind of over it. I'm like just generally over it. The topic, which has been my topic du jour, no matter what I'm talking about, work, wealth, wellness, or like the weather, is like, why is it possible that we work in an industry that is about creating wellness, wholeness, doing what's good for your body and your soul and your mind and the planet? And the industry is like really not.
The wellness industry is unwell.
It's unwell. And there's so much about that bothers me. And there's just been a straw that broke the camel's back with like, oh my gosh, like it's a kind of a boys club,
More than kinda.
Yeah. And that as long as we don't own the narrative, or at least 50-50, then like there's no equitable path to success. Zero. Because there'll be always some dude filtering the conversation about like what's happening and how it feels for us.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I 100% agree. And I almost use that as like I have a chip on my shoulder and watch me go now type mentality with it. And so that's why I can sit here and smile and say like, yeah, no one may read this top 10 list, and I'm still effing excited to put it out, and I still think it's meaningful, and I still think it's cool that we can do it. And it's just like, okay, I was on stage for a wellness, but really like more CPG event with two investors that I respect so much. They are like OGs that I should not have been on stage with. Let's just call it what it was. But I was the diverse candidate. So they like threw me on there. And at first I was really intimidated. Like I identified as the person that shouldn't have been on the stage. And then I sort of changed my mentality to what it is with this. And I was like, let me lean into it. I don't need to have a million followers, a million viewers, a million listeners to be able to put out this list, and I can still do it. So let me share my perspective. I know it's valuable, and I know that all of these other women that are voting and nominating, that they want their voices heard too. So I don't know, more like growth mindset and feeling that they might own the narrative now, but watch me.
Right. I mean, first of all, there's nothing that makes you more pissed than being not just a woman in this industry, but a woman who really needs this industry. So whether that's someone who is dealing with really any women's health issue, specifically those of us in the like perimenopause, menopause journey, like I I'm like, I think it's really important to give a megaphone to the people who are making a difference there. And by the way, that's like more than just your hormone treatments, you know? So uh I just feel like the work that's being done right now that I think is important is also maybe not 100% the same.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't wait. So I actually want to get a little bit more pointed and talk about one of the reasons that we actually like something that really broke your back on this, that was sort of the impetus for us saying like F it, let's just do it. You were so, and understandably and valid, that you were so upset by it. And I was like, I don't know who any of those people are. That list, I probably would have, had you not sent it to me, I never would have seen it. I never would have found it.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
and
know what you're talking about.
and so, and not in a bad way, not that it's not a list that many people care about, but A, I think it's a little outdated. B, as you said, all of the people on the list have really nothing to do with the type of wellness that I'm familiar with or that I care about as a woman or as a millennial, even. And so, okay, they put out that list, and a lot of people paid a lot of money to be on that list. And it makes no difference in my world. So let them keep putting it out.
It's just because it's so much bigger than the fucking list.
I don't
It's
disagree.
systemic, right? The point about that list that I was referencing is you had to scroll like three-quarters of the way down the page to find a single woman who was
Yeah.
mentioned. And it was basically like the categories for her were like best woman in women's.
Sorry, I'm laughing. It's
I mean,
not
not
funny.
really,
It's
but
not funny.
kind of, right? It was the like DEI section of the page. And
Not funny. I shouldn't be laughing.
but it's really bigger than that, which is like, why are there no women CEOs running these big franchises, right? Because it starts at the bottom. Why aren't the right companies being funded? Sorry, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. But like, that's why I'm angry, is because it's not the list.
You're allowed to be. And I know that was just the straw, but and and I don't know, maybe it's like where I am within my cycle that I'm not so enraged, but it is totally valid for all of those things, and to be not just knowing all of those things, but you have quite literally lived all of those things. And yet, I don't know, I'm still optimistic about the future. I'm still optimistic. Anecdotal evidence has made me optimistic about what we're doing, what we're building, and the fact that it's not just noise in the background. I genuinely think what we're doing has legs.
So I love that every episode devolves into like insecurities and a
I,
therapy session between us. Just to circle back on the list, there's an expression called act as if. You've ever heard this, right?
Mhm.
So like you act your way into right thinking. And I mean, just sort of like my admission that I've lived in a scarcity mindset and been um, contributed to the problem that I identified. I feel like just kind of sometimes taking the action, right? Just be
Right.
a rising tides girl. Even if I don't feel that way, that
Yeah.
helps me. I need to do that a lot, you know?
Yeah. And we can end on this anecdote that will make hopefully everyone laugh. I play tennis Friday mornings, and I don't know if I end up ditzier than I normally am, or if I really am just sometimes a ditz, but I don't care about keeping score. I say oi every time I miss a point. I I am just a total disaster. And they keep telling me that they think I live in like Never Land, just like a total fairy tale because of the way I act on the court. And you know what? I don't think that that's how I am or how I show up. But if that is what other people think, and I'm like bringing together this, like, yeah, we can all do it. Like, you scored a point. Great job. Then, like, F it. I'll let them believe that. And like, I hope more people start acting like that for that matter.
I know. I'm still like competing in an exercise class for like who does the like lifts the whatever or does the whatever. So I have a long way to go on that one.
Well, this is the mentality I hope that you go into classes with moving forward, also because it makes me feel nice and good. I fucking paid to be in this class. You can yell at me all you want, but I'm going to take this class how I want to take this class because it's my $40 well spent. And thank you so much for giving me your feedback.
Oh my gosh. That feedback is self-inflicted. That's the internal narrative. That's the problem. And I think we're in the solution. So
We are.
progress, not perfection.
There we go, Melissa. We're going to end with that. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you with hot takes next week. Have a good weekend.
Bye, everyone.